What's happening, YouTube and fellow toy collectors? Gino the Dragon's back. Spoiler warning, there's going to be a lot of toys in this video. Just saying. Alright, so it's that time again. Got a bunch of figures to show off. Oh man, yeah, this is going to be a Marvel Legends heavy haul, which is nothing new. There's a bunch of those like that. But I got a few surprises. Oh man. But as you can see, yeah, I hit up Toys R Us, like heavy. All these aren't from Toys R Us though. I just put them all in the bags. So they're easy to move around. But moving all these multicolored Toys R Us bags out of the way, we're gonna start with the green one, just because. So, first up is gonna be probably the biggest surprise of this haul. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Gino Dragon has a Star Wars action figure in his collection. Now I know what you're thinking. Gino, why do you have Star Wars in your collection? You don't even like Star Wars. And you would be right. But I like cool toys. And this little bastard looks cool. Here's Jango Fett from the Star Wars Black Series. Number 15 in the line. Kind of check this out here. Decent little design, black and red, whatever. Anyways, yeah, it just looks cool. So, picked this bad boy from Walmart one night. Actually saw him and Captain Phasma. Awesome looking character from The Force Awakens, which I still have not seen. I figured I'd give it a shot at some point, who knows. But anyways, I saw both figures there. And it was actually, I didn't realize it, but I was actually kind of lucky to actually even see them there, because apparently they had been out for months from the time, or before the time I actually picked him up. But anyways, I didn't really know how the Star Wars figures worked in terms of articulation, so I went home and kind of looked at some reviews, but couldn't make it back to the store for a couple days. And I figured, okay, I'll check them, or I'll just go ahead and pick them up. They look kind of cool. I wish I would have did it from the start, because when I went back, only Jango Fett was left and the other peg warmers. Somebody snatched up Phasma. And then when I looked them up, actually I looked them up ahead of time, even before that, and realized what they were going for. And I wasn't jumping into, or wasn't giving into scalpers. So I waited, and yeah. So still don't have Captain Phasma, but I got Jango. So there he is. Next up is... Okay, so another surprise. When I was out, I was actually on a pretty big toy hunt over like a period of like 2 days. And besides Star Wars, another surprise is decided to dive into that rabbit hole of the pop figures. Starting one of my favorite franchises, to go from a franchise I really don't care about to one of my most beloved, G.I. Joe. Real American hero. Got some pop figures. Start off with Roadblock, Main Man Roadblock, Cobra Commander, the helmet, not the mask, and then my favorite Joe, Snake Eyes. Only one I'm missing from this line is Storm Shadow though. I'm gonna skip the mask Cobra Commander, or the hooded, whatever. And so yeah, just gotta find Storm Shadow. And I've always looked at these guys, they just look pretty cool, but I never really wanted to jump into them with all the different action figure lines I collect. But I kind of saw them and figured, why not? True had them on sale that one weekend. I just snatched them up. I'm going to be a little pickier about this one. Only ones I really want are going to be, actually there's quite a few I want, but the highest priority ones I want are Carnage, Scalpers. Man, there's just, I don't know if you say Scalpers, but the price has gone up on him. And the X-Men figures, particularly Cyclops, Wolverine, and Storm. 3 of my favorite X-Men and comic book characters, period. So yeah, G.I. Joe pop figures. Stand up, Jango. Alright, and from the same franchise, to some regular action figures, G.I. Joe 50th Anniversary Rock Rampage 3-pack, consisting of Roadblock, Shock Trooper, and Rock Viper. Actually saw this set, or when I saw it, I didn't actually remember it. But then I remembered when it was revealed, I really wanted it for Alpine, and True had it on clearance for like $12. I was like, oh yeah, I read about that set. I want Alpine, so I snatched it up quick. I only had a couple sets. But yeah, just really happy to have Alpine to join my G.I. Joe roster finally. So him and my main man Bazooka can wreck shop together. Tag team. As far as Shock Troop and Rock Viper, they are superfluous at this point because I already have my I don't know what I was supposed to say. My army build numbers, which I usually do 4 for most, or for at least for the G.I. Joe figures. I always do 4. The Techno Vipers were the exception. I only went with 2 of those. And then, my Crimson Guard and my Cobra Eels, 2 of my favorite little forces. I actually went probably about 8, but there are some little variations as far as with the Crimson Guard. Here's the back. Let me just show that off. 50th anniversary. Longtime G.I. Joe fan. Yeah, so there's that. And next up is... Alright, from this point on, it's all Marvel Legends, baby. Team Marvel. I love DC, or I like DC too, but Marvel Legends. Marvel Comics, period. Rock. First up is Bad Guy. Bastard Blizzard from the Hulkbuster series. Really love the design. Love that blue. That kind of metallic blue. I'm not too happy about the closed fists. I don't know. Just kind of thinking about how his powers work, but I'm not really sure. I would like some open fists, or open hands. But that was the Bluetooth speaker in the background. Yeah, here's Blizzard, the Hulkbuster series. See if we get a little focus in there. I'm actually still undecided about if I want to even build Hulkbuster or not. I'm still missing the ugly Marvel Now Iron Man and Thundra. Everybody else I have now. So yeah, that's still to be determined. I don't really care about the Hulkbuster as far as like Iron Man vs. Hulk and all that. Who cares? And no, we are not going to talk about Age of Ultron because that movie was trash. More on that another time, probably not. Anyways, jumping into some other Marvel Legends. Alright, so now I'm actually caught up with the recent waves. So we're going to go through these. Next up is from the Spider-Man series. We have Superior Foes of Spider-Man branded Speed Demon. Don't really know much about this guy. Very low-level Spider-Man villain. Nothing too fancy there. Yeah. I say. Always nice to have some more villains, especially some Spider-Man villains. I would just really need to get some X-Men villains in there. X-Men series coming soon, apparently. Next up is Beetle. Oh yeah, this Spider-Man series is the Absorbing Man Build-A-Figure wave, which is really weird because you don't really think of... I don't really associate Absorbing Man with Spider-Man, but who cares? Cool villain. So yeah, here's Beetle. And I believe she was actually one of 2 women to take up the Beetle mantle, as well as, or along with like another 1 or 2 dudes. So there was at least 3 people that claimed the Beetle mantle. Yeah, there's Beetle. Next up, we got the Villains of the Night. Jack-O-Lantern and Morbius. Let me see. My connection with Morbius is really pretty much through the animated series. Can't say I read a lot of comics with Morbius. And Jack-O-Lantern I've actually never encountered in any form, but he looks cool. Like the flame effects there, the fire, and all that good stuff. Just a little firebomb. So yeah, there's Morbius and Jack-O-Lantern. And next up, jumping to Edge of Spider-Verse, we have Ben Reilly, along with some interchangeable hands, and you'll also notice he has a Spider Carnage head, which is pretty dope. I actually considered picking up a second one just so I could kind of utilize that second head as another figure, but that might be doing a little too much. And then last, I'll do these two together. The two highly sought after figures of this wave, and probably two of the most highly sought after figures in a while, Venom and Spider-Gwen. Yeah, both come with some alternate heads. Venom got that kind of tongue out green saliva thing going on there, and then Spider-Gwen with the Gwen Stacy head and kind of like the, I don't know what you call that, like her head, or like the hood kind of pulled down sort of, but it doesn't really go all the way. It doesn't really show it all the way around, I don't think. I'm not really sure how that works, but it doesn't matter. Anyways, yeah, so you got these two, and yeah, they look pretty dope. Definitely happy to have Venom in my collection. So I have Spider-Man, Venom, and Carnage now. Get some maximum Carnage action going on. And Spider-Gwen, I really just love her design. She just looks dope. But yeah, that's not it though. Also have a second Venom and a second Spider-Gwen. Those two were actually trade bait for a figure which I will not mention in this video because that figure will actually be another video right after this one. So, but anyways, like pick these two up. I don't know. Typical bad guys, always messing stuff up. Anyways, yeah, like I said, these two were trade bait for another figure I was looking for, but I actually came across that figure. Patience is the key, my friends. Story about that later. So, yeah, somebody make a note, and I'll mention that in the next video. Anyways, but right now, so since I found another figure, I actually don't need these two. So they will either be going back to the store, or I will probably just go back to the Marvel Legends collectors, or the Marvel Legends community or collectors group. I forgot which, MLC on Facebook, which I'm a part of. Big Marvel Legends community there. Awesome group. And I will either just post these. So I posted them on there before as trade bait looking for the other figure. But now they can just be up for sale. Guess I'm pretty much caught up, so I don't really need them anymore. Yeah. So there's those two. And let's see. Need some space. Get out of the way. Alright, next up we have the Captain America wave. Okay, let's jump into the Forces of Evil. Kind of going like the branded theme here. This Captain America wave is the Red Onslaught Build-A-Figure series. First up here, we got Whirlwind and Cottonmouth. Cottonmouth, part of the Serpent Society, which is really cool. Just like having more villains, especially some of those kind of B and C level villains, just because they're kind of cool. I really like the design. The color scheme, you know, I'm not a Lakers fan or Vikings, I don't really care. But I like the head sculpt and the kind of the snake there. And you kind of see my reflection. Reflections of a Dragon. Sounds more like a memoir. But anyways, Whirlwind. I remember Whirlwind from the Captain America and the Avengers video game, which I still have my original cartridge for the Super Nintendo, and I still cannot beat that game. I never actually played a co-op either. I think like one time played a co-op. So if anybody wants to come over and play Captain America and Avengers, maybe we can beat that after all these years. Probably not. Anyways, next up we have, let's see. Keep the bad guys going before we jump into the heroes. Mercenaries of Mayhem, Taskmaster, and Demolition Man. Not too familiar with Demolition Man. Some people calling him Scourge, but on the back of the box, on the back of the package, they call him Demolition Man. Taskmaster is definitely the key here. Love his sword and shield, and he has interchangeable head. But I'm probably gonna get rid of the hooded head and swap it because it doesn't really fit with that design. I would definitely prefer the more classic Taskmaster, but I really like the character, and the Udon costume is still cool. So yeah, there's that. Taskmaster. Next up, jumping to the heroes. We have the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Mockingbird and Sharon Carter. Sharon Carter looks pretty cool. Another Marvel Legends woman. Marvelous women in my collection is always necessary. And I definitely enjoyed. Mockingbird looks dope. Everything about it looks great. Love the costume design. She's got her cool little batons there. And I love the goggles. Yeah, she just looks cool. Welcome to my Marvel collection. And last but not least is the man himself, Captain America. Now this is probably, I don't even know, probably the 4th Captain America Marvel Legends I have in my collection. But definitely the best. Have the Marvel Now. Actually, was probably the first one. Then I got Ultimate Captain America. And then the 3-pack, the Target exclusive 3-pack, which included Miss Marvel and Radioactive Man. Which was definitely, that one was more comic inspired. But this one is like my official, this is definitely my #1 cap in my collection. Especially the comic inspired boots. Everything about him looks dope. He's got that stupid cap with head, which will never have any use in my collection. It'll be thrown in accessories and forgotten forever. So yeah, this is my most recent haul. And give you kind of a large shot there. Kind of see everything. Heroes, villains, Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe, Pop Vinyl, in the oddball Star Wars figure, Jango. Oh, take it in, people. Love it. Now I get to pop all these bad boys open and assemble a couple Build-A-Figures. Red Onslaught and Absorbing Man. Also, with the Red Onslaught, we're actually going to get because he's from the recent storyline, Axis. But in the X-Men line coming up soon, we're supposed to get I think it's supposed to be included with the Rogue figure, is the original Onslaught head. But, you know, Marvel and all that X-Men business outside of actual comics and toys and Fox, whatever. All that nonsense, whatever. But anyways, yeah, this is my toy haul. Let me know what you think. What's going on, toy collectors? What are you looking forward to? I have some dope toys to show off and so many more toys coming out this year. Yep, let me know what you think. This is Gino the Dragon saying thanks for watching as always, and peace out and happy collecting.